Struggling to come to grips with reality. Confusion and chaos have become part of me. I seek answers to know where my liberation lies. Only in peace and calmness does that clarity arise. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmissions. The wisdom transmissions. So many voices, so many interpretations. No answers given, only outer temptations. Where can I find that truth inside of me? Realization of what I am is all I'm wanting to see. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmissions. The wisdom transmissions. No more redirection, ending the contemplation. Forget fighting reflection. Outer world's a projection. Internal is the cause, external's an effect, put it on pause. I'm silencing the noise, centering, entering void. Truth is beautifully subtle, the voice without a voice. Heart and mind shall settle, making decisions now, escaping illusions of choice. Transmissions of wisdom bring me insights of reason. Let my mind expand to the higher states. My mortality is no longer at stake. Let me hear the wisdom transmission. The wisdom transmissions.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of the Wisdom Nexus. Of course, I still have my readingswithbrianne.com up here. So speaking of that, Brianne has updated her new website. She's actually giving away free one-question reading as well, to leave it one card reading. So you can check that out on her website, readingswithbrianne.com. She's revamped her website a lot, and she's doing some new services as well. So you can check that out, readingswithbrianne.com. But as you saw also in the music section of our segment of today's broadcast with Wisdom Transmissions. Okay, so again, you guys can book private sessions on Wisdom Transmissions with me up until March 31st. After March 31st, they are gone for good, right? I decided to bring it back for another month because, number one, I was doing my interview with Dr. Stella, and a lot of his people want to do sessions with me. So that was one of the reasons I brought it back. Number two was that quite a few of you were requesting to have it brought back for one more month. Okay, so after March 31st, the private sessions with me are done. Okay, so it's good to book right now. You can book up until March 31st because I am taking sessions in April as well too. So it's good to get into that. The new Wisdom Transmissions that's coming is going to be offering new services, okay? But it's not going to be one-to-one sessions. There's going to be a combination of reports and mentoring services. They're going to be coming together. I wouldn't call them sessions, but services, packages, extended long-term work with me and you. Okay, so there's going to be more information with that as we get into April. Come April, I'll be launching the brand new Wisdom Transmissions website. It'll have a new look. It'll have a whole new plethora of services, reports as well too. So it's going to be really exciting to bring that out. But this is the last of the private sessions. Again, I've already cleared away the 3 question sessions and the full body scan and all of that. So all that remains right now is just the private live sessions. So if you want to check that out, just go to wisdomtransmissions.com and you can book right away. Okay, you can see the 3 sessions on the homepage. They are there, and just feel free to book. 30-minute, 45-minute, and 60-minute sessions are available. All right, so today I mentioned that we're going to be bringing in Adronis, and Adronis is going to have an updated transmission for everybody today. This is a special episode. I'm not doing these on Fridays. This is just for today because last week I did not have a webcast, so I'm just basically doing a second one here to kind of make up for lost time for last week. So just how I am. Like to make things up for lost time. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring Adronis in. We're going to get a transmission through Adronis, and then after that, we'll be getting into your questions. Okay, so again, if you have any personal reading requests, you can do that through donation. Just one single question, please, per donation. And if we have time and the donation-based questions are done, then we'll go into some of the standard questions that are on the YouTube chat. Okay, so again, if you really want priority, make sure you're doing a donation-based question. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and bring Adronis in, and we'll get started, and he can share his information of a transmission that he has for us. Here we go. Soul Star Sirius Adronis We are here at this time. We bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. And what we would like you all to do at this time is simply allow yourselves to get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all of the information that we have to share. Also understand that all of the information that we shall provide today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. Your earth has officially transformed. Your earth has moved into a brand new shift. An acceleration that has taken place. Something that represents, again, the peeling away of old layers, of old veils, and has now moved itself into a new, shall we say, trans-dimensional shift, where there is now new opportunity for greater growth, greater expansion. This is a very large transcendental shift that has taken place. And it has taken place right here today, beginning with your own vernal equinox. Starting here today on your March 20th. So therefore, the vernal equinox, starting today, has enabled a trans-dimensional shift to take place upon your planet, to where everything relating to upcoming events, everything relating to the mentalities, the behaviors of your people here on the earth, as well as the events that are going to unfold, are going to represent greater states of expansion. So it is very, very fitting that we have been able to come through here today to communicate through Brad to let you know of this monumental shift that has taken place upon your planet here upon today of your vernal equinox of March 20th, 2026. So what does this mean? How did everything start to shift? Why is there greater states of expansion? Well, again, when you're looking at your equinoxes, when you're looking at the solstices, you're noticing shifts that are taking place in regards to alignments with your planet. Now, what is happening right now is the benchmark. It is like the baseline. And from the baseline, there's going to be a lot more intense, shall we say, events, behavioral patterns, everything that, shall we say, culminates upon your planet is going to lead into much more expansive states. What does this mean? It means you're going to learn to see a lot more than what could not be seen before. Think of it again as a veil being dropped, as a curtain being opened. Many of you talk about the idea that there's always that man behind the curtain. Well, what happens when that man behind the curtain doesn't have a curtain anymore? You're going to see the man. Now, the man is most likely going to dart out of the room and run for it, slamming the door behind him. But you're going to be able to get a glimpse. And that's what's taking place right now. The curtain has dropped. You're able to see the man's face even just for a brief instant before he darts out the door, slamming the door behind him. Well, this is what's taking place upon your planet right now. Massive exposure, massive expansion, the opportunity to move into a greater state of presence and revealing upon what is going to be happening on your planet. Because what is happening in 2026 is the complete and total, as we would say, demolition of the old world. It's all going to be falling apart. It's already starting to fall apart in many different areas all around you right now, but it is going to continue to intensify. Not because anything horrible is going on, but because it can no longer hold its own weight. It can no longer bear down. It can no longer secure its own foundations. The pillars have officially crumbled. And now everything representing the heavy load that has been held above is now crashing down to the ground. As we've talked about, 2026 of the year of the fire horse represents the breaking down of establishment. And this breaking down of establishment has already been taking place. As we have stated, what you've been seeing a lot on your television has been filtered media. A lot of it is filtered. A lot of it will not be shared about what's really going on. It's all being meant to stay like a stage where there is a set design and trying to keep all of the set pieces together while a performance is going on. So this entire time ahead is going to lead to the idea of, shall we say, malfunctioning props on the stage. Set pieces starting to fall apart on the stage. Everything that tries to create the illusion of governance, the illusion in regards to control, is going to start falling apart at the seams. This is especially important as you start moving towards the mid-year of 2026. The idea of trying to keep everything pretty, try to keep everything in order, is going to have some difficulty because there's going to be some tremors with trying to keep everything pretty. with trying to keep everything neat and tidy and orderly. There's going to be some tremors in the way. So what do we mean by that? Is that what they try to create with these rosy pictures of, again, trying to bring about obedience is going to be extremely difficult, because there's going to be a lot of disobedience all around those particular media faces that are trying to keep a clean picture intact. So this, again, is why there is expansion. There's a lot more taking place. There's a lot more event to show itself now. There's a lot more opportunity to see exactly, like we stated, the man behind the curtain that has now sprinted and ran out the door, and now he's trying to decide exactly what to do, because that's been his edge for the longest time. There is no longer going to be a man behind the curtain. Well, Adronis, what does that mean? What happens when indeed this man behind the curtain no longer has the curtain anymore, and now everybody can see him? They're not going to be able to do what they have been able to do. Lie to you. Cheat you. Trying to keep everything rosy and clean when truly everything is disastrous in their wake. It's going to lead to more and more upset feelings. It's going to lead to more and more retaliation. It's going to lead to more and more revolution. That's what's going to be happening. So again, what will you do when you notice that the stage pieces are falling apart? What will you do when you know that these veils have already dropped and Earth is moving into a higher transcendental state, to where the information of events is becoming much more profound, where the idea of clandestine secrecy is no longer the case, where there's transparency starting to open up all around you, where there's going to be a lot of shock and awe when people realize exactly what has been happening behind the scenes, relating to mistreatment, relating to agendas, relating to the real nature of why there's even pharmaceutical industries, relating to the real nature of why mainstream media has peddled their ways in the way that they have. The idea of being able to follow paper trails to greed that will lead to much larger answers that have not yet been exposed. The idea of people that you consider to be leaders that have basically been involved in heavy trafficking. This is the stuff to come. This is the events to unfold, because your Earth has reached a new shift, a new transformation here today on the vernal equinox of March 20th, 2026. And as we have said, that as you move into the summer between June and August, you will see a particular crop circle that represents the demarcation, the benchmark, the shifting to where the extraterrestrial presence upon the planet is going to be much more thoroughly investigated, much more thoroughly explored. The idea of the presence of extraterrestrial consciousness upon your planet is going to want to be known a lot more by your people, because it is quite possible there may be some very interesting events prior to that time that may be taking place that will cause many of you to wonder. But we're going to leave that to the unfolding of event upon your planet. It is important for you to know that there has been a shift, that there has been a major transformation, that a veil has been dropped, and that mysterious man is no longer hiding behind a curtain. A lot is going to be exposed. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction. We will take a moment and return to the conduit. One moment, please. All right, excellent. I completely forgot it was actually the vernal equinox today. So thank you, Adronis, for reminding me about that. I'm not even paying attention to the days of the week. It's just, it's crazy. But there you have it, everybody. That is a very powerful update announcement from Adronis about the vernal equinox, about a very powerful shift that has taken place. I'm sure, again, over the next few days and few weeks, we'll probably start to elaborate on this a little bit more, but it's kind of like a new baseline has come together, and we can start to see exactly what is going to be unfolding here in the next little while. So again, like I said, yes, that's as Adronis has put it, that we've always had this little man behind the curtain trying to pull all these levers. Well, what happens when that curtain drops, right? And now you expose the person who's behind that to actually start to see that's the guy that's been pulling all these levers, right? And now he knows that he's being exposed, and he just runs out the door, scuttling away like a cockroach. Okay, and that is a very good analogy to get an idea about what's actually happening right now. You're not going to have a man behind the curtain anymore, but you're going to investigate those levers to see exactly what all of those levers mean. Let's see, pharmaceuticals, mainstream media, government, politics, finance, military, nation conflicts. Okay, we're going to see all those levers, and we're going to see those labels of what's been pushed down through those levers. This is going to be interesting. This is earth-shattering announcement from Adronis. So we're going to just keep up. We're going to see exactly how things go and play themselves out for the next few weeks, because as he says, this is a baseline. This is like a demarcation of what's actually been taking place. He never told me what he was going to talk about today. So this was, I wasn't even knowing exactly what I was getting until as soon as he came in. Then he says, okay, this is it. And so, whew. So it surprised me as well too. So there you have it, everybody. You heard it here first. All right. Very interesting. I mean, I'm just kind of rattling my brain right now. So, oh, great. What are we going to be seeing? What things are going to be starting to unfold as we start moving deeper into spring and coming into summertime? But of course, as Adronis has always said, that through the summertime, that's where intensity starts, right? The summer is always it's not just the physical hot time, it's the emotional and mental hot time of the year as well, too. So between June and August, that's when things start to really heat up, not just physically through their temperature, but also emotionally and mentally. So we have a lot to look forward to here in 2026. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly what unfolds. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead now and move on to Q&A. So if you guys do have any donation-based questions that you want to leave, if you have any personal questions, if you have a healing request, but again, just single questions and just single healing requests if you do have that, okay, because we are going to give chances for other people here. Now we do have one question, one donation-based question here from It's Me, okay. So they have a pretty simple question. Do you see a relationship coming into my life? All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to do the tarot first, because I don't have my tarot gal here today. She's upstairs doing her work. So, okay, so It's Me, WQ2OG, okay. Do you see a relationship coming into my life? All right, let's take a look. I'm still kind of buzzing from Adronis' announcements, so you have to excuse me. It's very exciting information. All right, let's take a look here. I do see someone coming into your life very soon. Yes. So I'm probably feeling that this may be not really so much around March, perhaps around April, May, around that time. A new relationship coming together. So yes, I'm getting that feeling. Okay. Right now it feels like you're kind of moving into new ground. Okay. It's kind of like it's almost like you're kind of getting your act together as far as relationships. New relationships are concerned. Okay. And the past, okay, you've still been looking for love, and in that sense, and it looks like what you've been intending and asking for is going to be coming together. So keep yourself open, right? Don't just think that it's going to come one particular way. Keep yourself open with a broad realization that it can come in many different ways. But yes, I'm getting the feeling of being able to meet somebody, okay? And it feels like this could be something long-term as well, too, because we have family here. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay, this could be a very beautiful loved one that's going to come together. And I think there's going to be some mutual celebrating together, because I feel like this is something that could be a very strong union between the two of you that's been looking to happen for quite some time. So it's very beautiful. So very good. I feel like someone is coming here. Probably I'd say within the next couple of months. Okay, so probably around April, May, approximately. Those are just approximations. But yes, feels like new relationship is going to be happening here very soon for you. All right. Thank you. It's me. Okay. We got another donation-based question here from Ben1539. Hi, Brad. My friend has had left lower leg pain for years. Pain still returns. She fears thrombosis and has low energy. Okay. So how about I tune into your friend and we do some charge? Okay, like I said, I'm not quote unquote healing anybody. Your body heals itself, right? But what we're doing is we're just sending some charge to your friend. Okay, I didn't get a name, but that's okay. I'm just going to work with this specific friend through what you're intending here. And she feels thrombosis and has low energy. Okay, so whenever we're having thrombosis or again problems with joints and so forth, a lot of it triggers back to the spine. A lot of it comes down to nerve issue. A lot of it also comes down to depleted minerals, as I've talked about, right, many times. It depends, though. We have to kind of look into her. I'd have to talk to her and see exactly what else she may be going through as well, too. And then we kind of help to connect the dots. But what I can do for her right now is just start working with her spine. Okay, working with her spine, and then we'll move it down to the legs and the arms as well too. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment here and just going to tune in, and just give me a few moments as I connect with her now through Ben's 1539. Okay, so Ben's 1539 friend. Just going to tune into her now, the one that she feels that she has thrombosis. Okay, we're just going to bring in the sentinel consciousness. Okay, and through the sentinel consciousness, we're just sending this powerful charge directly into her spine. So just moving up, down, bringing a lot of turquoise and blue light directly into her spine, representing this energy of charge. Bring a little bit of golden frequency, silver frequency, directly into the spine, just moving it up, just like a paintbrush, up and down, up and down, and then just charging, and working with the sentinel consciousness to contain that energy, moving it up and down the spine, charging it up. Okay, there we go. There we have it. So again, she's just getting a very fine charge through her body, again, through the spine and through the nervous system, the major organs, the cells of her body as well, too. So it's almost just kind of like having a really nice feeling of a massage and then just being able to kind of give yourself some rest. Okay, so if you're talking to your friend, just let her know that energy charging has been done for her and her body is working on the self-healing process, but she needs a lot of rest. Okay, so try to get her to have maybe about a good 8 to 10 hours of sleep, because as you sleep that considerable amount of time, encouraging a lot more of a delta cycle to come through you. The delta is the healing bandwidth, the healing brainwave. Okay, so you're moving much more into the delta. Another thing that she can do as well too is as when she's going into a drowsy state, just feel her body in perfect shape. Feel her body in optimal state. Okay, so again, she's not concerned about thrombosis. She's not concerned about low energy. She just wants to bring herself into charged energy. Okay, it's like you're just laying in a bath that's filled with that charged energy, and you're letting it work with your cells. Okay, it does take time for it to fully integrate together with the body, but nonetheless, it's working on you. So just let her know work is being done. Her body can self-heal, enter the delta state, through longer sleeps, 8 to 10 hours at least, okay? And also being able to go into the drowsy state and seeing her body in optimal form, optimal state, okay? Thank you very much, Ben. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We have another donation-based question here from Caustic Maine, 5002. They ask, I want to get a new job and be part of a team again, learning from people smarter than me and building things while making the dough to thrive instead of survive. What prospects can a reading reveal? Well, if I'm looking at you, and as you said that you want to work with a team, okay? So you want to work with team, want to work with people smarter than me, okay? How about the idea of working to invent new things? How about the idea of inventing new formulas? How about getting into health and wellness? Okay, so how about maybe looking into new diets for people, right? Being able to work together and helping people out. Like I said, it's making dough to thrive instead of survive, okay? But like I said, you have to get behind an idea. And my feeling is that if you start moving much more into health and wellness, okay, and maybe move into something pertaining to food or diet that is really going to help people a lot more, getting involved with that particular industry. Now, not having anything processed or laboratory created, but something that's very, very complementary to what can actually help a person. So this could be something like a diet. This could also be a health and wellness technology, okay? Maybe you're looking into new alternative technologies relating to scalar, okay? Maybe looking into new energy technologies. Maybe looking into technologies that help people with healing of the nervous system. Okay, but I get the feeling that's something involving health and wellness. Okay, so health and wellness can come together, and if you want to follow this new path, follow a new job, then that should be your target, right? Your target should be something with health and wellness. What are we doing to make people healthy in that way? It can be a very successful product, but it's not going to be a fad, right? It's something that should really be exhilarating to people for them to use. Like I said, even if it's like a type of fitness equipment, that's great. Okay, if it's a dietary thing that's healthy, that's great. But something revolving around health and wellness. As I'm tuning into you, that's what I feel like you're looking to on a subconscious level, is wanting to give back and help people a lot, while also being secure and stable and having a good amount of quote unquote dough for you to have. Okay, but something that is maybe therapeutic, something that again follows a healing industry, a health and wellness industry, right? Helping people out with what you want to do. And so there's a lot of that out there. You just have to look for it. So rather than looking for it, what I would say is call it to you. This again, guys, is all you have to do. If you don't want to do any of my stuff where I'm talking about going into the substrata, then this is exactly what you do, Caustic Main 5002. Just before going to bed, you start to feel drowsy. As you start to feel drowsy, close your eyes. As you're closing your eyes, visualize yourself with a wonderful team, that they have the product that you really want to get behind, that you fully support. Again, I'm feeling in the health and wellness industry. And that you're there in the boardroom and you're working together with people and there's smiling faces and happiness, and you're looking into your bank account and it's full. Has all the money that you feel you could ever want. Okay? And as that visualization happens, and you're reaffirming it with affirmation, I'm with this team. We're in a board meeting. Everything looks fantastic. Everything looks great. This is a beautiful new product. I'm doing well financially. Let it be so. And then it's done. Okay? So again, with that drowsy state, the drowsiness makes it easier for these manifestations to be real. Because when you're getting drowsy, you're starting to move into the theta and delta. Okay, as you start going into the theta and the delta, well, you're just in that state, right just at the cusp of getting drowsy. Okay, that's exactly when you put this out. So do that. Okay, just before going to bed, or if you have a daily nap, right, just before getting drowsy, put that intention out. Exactly as I shared. And that is going to bring that together very quickly like a lightning bolt. Okay? Thank you very much for your question. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We have another one here from Robbie Burns. Robbie Burns, thank you for your donation. You said, Brad, can you send some healing or help clear the energy in my leg? It feels off. Would love your support. You guys are having some leg problems today. This is the second leg problem today. All right, yes, we can do that. But like I said, Robbie, just like I worked before with the person's friends, okay, we're just working with your spine all together, and then we're sending it in. Whenever there is mobility problems, okay, problems with your shoulders, problems with your arms, problems with your legs, your feet, you got to connect to the spine, okay? The spine is the key. That's the epicenter, right? So we're going to work together with the spine here today, okay? And we'll help. I'll be sending some charge to you once again, and just help. And again, the same advice would come to you as well too. Try to get a little bit more sleep, 8 to 10 hours, okay? And go into the drowsy state. See your body in an optimal state. That's the key. All right, one moment here as I connect with you, and we'll begin. Okay, just bringing the sentinel consciousness back in, tuning into the spine once again, moving again into that turquoise and blue frequency with that essence of gold and silver vibration, penetrating it directly into the vertebrae of the spine, directly into the nerves, directly into the cells, energizing the brain as the brain is connected to the spine, and moving all of that energy out to the extremities, out to the arms, out to the legs, out to the muscles, out to the tissues, out to the nerves, out to the cells itself. And bringing through this sentinel consciousness right now, helping to deliver that charge, that powerful charge to the spine in containment. And again, sending it out in the five star fold combination. The head, the arms, the legs, penetrating right through the tissues, right through the nerves, right through the cells. Energizing the nervous system, making it very strongly electrical, but again, subtle. Strong subtlety. And circulating this energy, remaining with you until the matter is resolved. Apply. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, very good. So Robbie, there you go. That is some charge that is for your body. Okay, so like I said, get lots of rest. This is not something that's meant to be instantaneous and, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm feeling better. Okay, we have to give time for the charge to set in. It's kind of like you're being charged up like a battery, right? The battery is not going to charge up instantly. It's going to take a little bit of time for the battery to get charged up. But as it gets charged up, you will feel it. You'll feel a lot more energetic. You'll feel a lot more vitalized. You'll start feeling your leg. You'll notice that if there's any pain down there, soreness, ache, stiffness, all of that starts to dissipate, okay? And then the feeling becomes stronger. All right? Blessings. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, so I think that's all for the donation-based questions for now. Okay, again, if you guys are tuning in, if you want to have a donation-based question, just feel free to use the YouTube Super Chat. Once I see your donation pop up, I'll come to you if I'm finishing up another question. Okay, so let's go ahead and move up to some of the basic questions here. Okay, well, you're the fire horse. I appreciate that you're suggesting one of my videos, but you have to kind of mention what the video is. Guys, you have to remember that I have like over 1,500 videos on my channel, okay? There's a lot of stuff that I've shared over the years, but the thing is, I don't really contain it within a state of memory. I put it out there, and it's for the community, right? And if the community feels like there's something that's very valuable, then I kind of rely on you guys to pass it around, right? Because I've done so many videos, I can't even remember a lot of the stuff that I've done previous to like 3 months ago. I don't really have a lot of memory with it. And like I said, I don't have memory when I do these things. It's like kind of goes into the flow ends, the video's done, I publish it. So there you go. And there's well over 1,500 videos on my channel. So if you guys are suggesting videos to other people, make sure you have the name, the title, okay? Because there's tons and tons and tons of videos on my channel. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so Deedar here asks for a question. Can you do a reading for India for 2026? Okay, yeah, we can, because that's not a personal question. That's regarding a country. Okay, so let's go ahead and tune into that. A lot of mistrust with leaders. So again, it's very similar to like what a lot of other countries are going to be going through. We're looking at the falling away of their pillars. Okay, so again, we're going to see people standing up. We're going to see people again kind of taking matters into their own hands. We're going to see revolution. Okay, so again, we're pretty much people who are in politics right now. Does not matter the country that you're in. If you are aligning to the old agendas, you're going to have a lot of resistance and a lot of retaliation behind your campaign. Okay, so I feel like India is going to be making a breakthrough as well too, right? There's been a lot of corporate greed coming into India, and I said India is basically, you could say, the spiritual epicenter of our planet. Okay, so there's been a lot of corporate greed. There's been a lot of attacks upon India as well too, right? But a lot of the people of India have a very, very thick patience, right? They got thick skin, but that thick skin can only go so far. So there's going to be, from what I can tell, I feel like there's going to be some upheaval. There's going to be some upheaval in a lot of the major cities of India as well too here in the next little while. So I feel like there's going to be some shock and awe. There's going to be some surprises that are going to be coming together. So looking into India for 2026, it's going to be going through a big detox. Now, again, you have the largest population on the planet surrounding India. So when there's things that represent revolution, you can bet that's going to be extremely powerful. But I feel India is going to go through kind of like its dark night of the soul here. I'm feeling between 2026 and 2027, because it's such a large country, I feel like this is something that could also extend into another year at the same time with India. But my feeling is that there is going to be major revolution that's hitting India, and I feel like there's going to be some reforms of leadership and basically bringing in new leadership. Okay, so yes, India on a political level and a financial level is going to hit a very, very strong new stride. Okay, but before that stride hits, we have to take down the pillars. We have to take down the foundations. Okay, so again, I feel India will be coming together. Okay, people will be coming together, revolutionary in nature. But I feel like that may extend into 2027 as well too. 2026, 2027, especially for India, looking to build a new stride and taking down the old pillars of old establishment. Okay, getting that out of the way. So very similar to what I'm feeling with many other countries. Okay, if you want more specifics, you just have to give me a specific reading. Okay, but that's what I can share in regards to a general reading right now for India. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, here's a free question from Robbie Burns. If reality is a reflection, how do we know when we're seeing truth versus just a very well polished version of our own expectations? Because truth is not a reflection. That's the thing, guys. When you tune into truth, it does not have a form. It does not have a particular type of state where you can look at it as a form of reflection. That's how truth is different from interpretation. That is how truth is different from perspective. You do not have a mirror with truth, because truth is not of the mind. Anything that represents a mind, a mirror in reality, is a product of the mind. Truth is not the product of the mind. Truth represents the idea of how it is. This is how it is, right? So in order for us to know exactly what truth is, we have to go past the mind mirrors, right? The mirrors of the mind are never going to be able to reflect truth. This is why I said that when you're looking externally, you are never going to find the truth of your being. Guys, if it was that simple, don't you think I would have given you all of the knowledge that you needed to look outside of you to discover here's the truth? But it doesn't work that way, because that's not where truth is. You have to go beyond the mind. You have to see that truth is as it is. All that is would represent the nature of truth. And that does not come through a mind mirror. You have to go beyond the mind. You have to go beyond and kind of behind it, and going right into the source and see the center and know the truth in that way, because it does not come from mind and it cannot be reflected from mind. So one who knows the truth has been able to go beyond the mind and just see. They see themselves for what they really are. Have I done that? Yes. Can I explain that to you? No, because it's not a product of the mind. But nonetheless, it is that impulse of truth that you feel. So I hope that helps. Truth is never something you will find externally. It is never something that you will find as an event. It is never something that you will find as a memory or a behavior or a pattern or an image or a concept or an idea. All of those are reflections. Okay? Truth is anti-reflection. Truth is the source itself. All right, so I hope that helps. Thank you, Robbie. Okay, this is just from Ben Kramer, but I didn't see a question along with it. Let me just see. Ben, did you have a question here? Because I'm not seeing your question. Okay, so you gave me a $20 donation. I appreciate that, but I don't see your question here, so maybe I'll try and look for it. But if you do have a question, just post it below, okay? Thank you for that. Let me go down further. Okay, this one here is from John. John. Hi, Brad. Can Adronis give us a hint on how to get rid of osteoarthritis, inflammation of joints? According to doctors, this is related and caused by age. That's wrong. Okay. No offense, but I don't need to bring Adronis in this because we've talked about this before. Osteoarthritis, when you're looking at arthritis in general, arthritis is basically bodily waste. Okay, it is junk wasted. Now, doctors will assume things. They will assume, oh, you're getting arthritis because you're getting older. It has nothing to do with age. Guys, age is a byproduct of illness. Did you know that? Age is a byproduct of illness. Why do you think there are people on the planet that could be 60, 70, 80 years old and they look half their age? Explain that, doctors, with that. Because age is a result of an illness. It is the result of the body in chaos. It is a volatility of the body because you have toxicity in the body. You're not eating well. You're overthinking things. You have stress. You have tension. You have aches, pains, sores, stiffness. Arthritis itself is nothing more than lymphatic sewage that has basically been dried up and placed in your joints. It is acidic and it is mucus-based waste that basically calcifies directly into your joints because the body is too backed up to eliminate that waste through its natural channels to do so. The lymphatic system is in distress. The lymphatic system, its sewage network to which the lymphatic system represents, is too backed up. It's like the plumbing in the body has become way too congested. And to prevent all of that acidic and mucus waste to going into the organs, the body will make the decision to dump the acidic and mucus waste directly into your joints because your joints basically act as a landfill. There's a lot of space there. So they will dump it into your knuckles, dump it into your wrists, dump it into your elbows, dump it into your knees, into your ankles, into your spine, specifically the spine. Okay, that's why people are basically getting hunchback and they're basically going over like this. They got tons and tons of acidic and mucus waste calcified directly in their spine. Oh, just because they're older. No, it's not because they're older. It's because there has been an over-culminating of junk in their body. Putting too much sugar, putting too much carbs, putting too much processed foods, causing too much inflammation in the body. All of this garbage is building up into the body, and the body is becoming a living landfill. And the lymphatic system is overworked, and the liver is overworked, and the kidneys are overworked. Your body is completely in a state of emergency. And to try and keep all that crap out of the organs, it will dump it into your joints to try to preserve the vital organs so that you're not getting organ failure. This has nothing to do with age. This is toxicity. And this is why we start working with alkalinity. We start putting alkaline in the body because alkaline will liquefy those calcification points that we call arthritis in the joints. And a lot of that calcification that happens basically becomes crystalline, right? It's like little crystals of filth and waste that are contained inside your joints because we're eating shitty food. We are constantly stressing out about everything. We are constantly tense. You're constantly in the beta brain. And now you're eating more and more and more and more because you're eating addicting food. Your food is so completely addictive, you got to have more. Whether it's McDonald's, whether it's a Jack in the Box, whether it's Burger King, whether it's whatever else you want to put in there, right? With all these foods that represent all of these chemicals are basically meant to eat as a drug. You're not eating food, my friends. You're eating drugs. Okay, that's where all these chemicals exist in this food. It doesn't even matter whether what you're buying anymore. 90% of the stuff that you get in grocery stores are drugs. The pharmaceuticals basically own the food industry. That's why there's a Food and Drug Administration, right? It might as well just be called Food is a Drug Administration. That's all they're doing. They're putting all of this chemistry directly into common foods, and you get addicted, and it hits the dopamine centers, and now you want more, and now you're addicted to more. Now you're eating more shitty food, and it never stops. And now your body is saying, please stop, please stop. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And we just keep eating and eating, and we eat ourselves half to death because we're addicted. We're drug addicts, and the drug addict is the food. And that's exactly how osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, etc., all of that happens. Because again, your body and its lymphatic system can't keep up with the waste, and it dumps it all throughout the joints. And now the joints are getting incredibly backed up. You can barely start to move your hands anymore. Your back is now starting to bend out of shape. You're gaining weight like crazy. You're bloating up like a balloon. Believe me, I've had that too, myself. Okay? But that's exactly what happens. Right? We get too addicted to our food. We get too addicted to stress. We get too addicted to tension. Right? We think that tension and stress is such a horrible thing, but we keep feeding it every single day. You feed it more and more. You start looking for arguments. You start looking for people to fight with. Right? If you can't get it from your family, you're going to find it through a stranger. You're going to try and vent at them. You're venting out because, again, these are dopamine highs, which means arguments are drugs. The wanting to fight with another person is a drug fix. That's a junkie. Okay? So you have a food junkie, you have a cigarette junkie, you have an alcoholic junkie, you have a crackhead junkie, and you have an argument junkie. They're all junkies. They're all drug addicts, because it gives you these dopamine hits. Then we basically go into sex and porn and all that stuff, and then that becomes lust junkies. It's a world of junkies. It's a world of drug addicts. So what do? We start taking responsibility. We start working with the breath. We start going into calmness. We start realizing I don't need to eat as much food as I've been eating. 1 meal a day, period. And then I don't touch anything for 24 hours. I'm just drinking water, and maybe I'll drink some tea in between meals. 1 meal a day. And then some water, and then some tea, and take some of my alkaline, and that's perfect. And then what happens after you start taking 1 meal a day and you fast for 24 hours? The weight comes off. The body now has enough processing power to start moving through lymphatic drainage. It can now start purging out through the body. The kidneys are not overworked. The fire in the stomach, the agony, now starts to fuel up a lot more. The lungs can now start to breathe easier. The mucus now starts to excrete itself from the body, blowing your nose quite a bit, coughing it out. The mucus now starts to subside. The mucus now starts to liquefy. The calcification in the joints now start to liquefy. They can now start passing through the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system can now start to purge all of that out through its channels. You start getting healthier. 1 meal a day. A 1 hour eating window. Have a big meal. Have a big meal, maybe midday. Okay, I'd say usually between 12 and 5 p.m. That's the basis. Okay, that's the average time. And have 1 meal a day and eat that 1 hour. After that, you don't touch any food. You can have water and you can have tea. And you can have some of your alkaline, right? So if you have like alkaline capsules, okay, if you're making some sarsaparilla, some dandelion, some burdock, okay, if you guys don't like the taste of Irish sea moss, then what you want to do is dehydrate it and make it into a powdered form and take it as a supplement. Okay, I get people complaining, bro, I don't like the taste of the smoothie. I don't like the taste of the sea moss and all that. Well, then here's what you do. You dry it up with a dehydrator, and then you make it into a fine powder. You ground it up into a fine powder, and then you start putting it into 00-sized vegetable capsules, and then start taking I'd say about 3 of those per day. Okay, and that will help you if you don't want to have the fishy taste of the 102 mineral smoothie. All right, I get it. None of us like that kind of fishy taste. I just suck it up. I don't care. I put lots of fruit in it as well too. I put like some berries, and I'll put some the Nino bananas into it as well too. It doesn't bother me one bit. But again, some people have different sensitivities. So if it's not a good food for you to try and take down orally, then just take the capsules. Okay? Get a dehydrator, dehydrate your sea moss, put it into a powder form, put it into your capsules. Put that down. Guys, that is so incredibly beneficial. When you're working with kelp, when you're working with Irish sea moss, when you're working with moringa, when you're working with your Baja Gold sea salt, right? Putting a little pinch onto your food, okay? Putting a little pinch into your water, extremely beneficial. Your body needs minerals. It is a mineral body. The shit that you've been putting into your body in majority is not even food. It's chemicals. So, going back to John's question here about, osteoarthritis and what doctors are saying, it's because of age. I'm sorry, but those doctors are completely miseducated because it has nothing to do with age. Age is a byproduct of toxicity. It is not a natural process of life. Can you guys imagine if we're still just going out into the forest and we're eating everything that Mother Earth provides? Do you know how long you're going to live for? I'd say about a good 200 years. But doctors won't tell you that because they want you to take your shitty pills. They want you to eat your shitty food. They want you to eat all this crap that makes you turn into like this absolute drug-obsessed, food-eating zombie. And you're just filling your face with all this crap and all this food that you don't need. 1 meal a day, 1 hour eating window, 24 hours you don't eat anything. You just have water and you just have your tea, and you can have some the capsules. Okay? That is going to make a big difference. You give it a try and see how you do, because I've done OMAD. 1 meal a day, and then not eat for 24 hours, the weight just comes pouring off. I'm getting back into it again as well too, because that's what I feel really works well with me. OMAD together with alkaline. All right, so there you go. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's another one from Morning Blues M3T. Hi Brad, can Adronis give information on how can the body build its own collagen even at an old age as the production stops after 25 years? Okay, one moment. I'll bring him in and we can talk about collagen. Okay, here we go. We thank you very much for your question. So again, as you have asked about the idea of moving into, as you would say, older age, representing that of collagen stores. Well, collagen is already naturally produced in your body, all right? But in order for it to be produced a lot more, you want to make sure you have higher glandular health, such as your adrenal glands, such as your thyroid, such as your thymus. So looking at much of the glands of the body, your endocrine system. With a healthy endocrine system, this also helps in the manufacturing and refining of your collagen. The only reason why collagen is often being depleted in your body is because the collagen stores need to be used for other things, because your body is in a great state of lack pertaining to natural minerals. There is minerals in your collagen. The collagen itself naturally starts to break itself down. As you work with an improved endocrine system, an improved lymphatic system, your glandular systems are now becoming stronger. It can help to refine certain compounds to bring about a little bit more mineralization to compensate in regards to where collagen itself has been utilized in necessity to help areas of your body, specifically within the digestion of the vital organs, to receive the essential minerals they need to function properly. To why the reason that you have no collagen within your body is for that very reason. So, yes, you can start to refine some of the collagen within your body with a healthy endocrine system. working with the glandular system, but your body still needs that supply. It still needs the supply of minerals. You want the magnesium, you want the iron, you want the copper. You want these essential minerals that are coming into your body that enables the building up of collagen. Collagen does not just come from the idea of meat. Collagen itself is a mineral alchemy. So the more that you're bringing in the essential minerals that your body needs, as Brad has told you, then this is going to build up your collagen stores a lot more, because your body isn't going to start swiping out the collagen that your joints need. But again, it will, because your major vital organs have precedence over everything else. Without them, the body cannot function properly at all. So it will take collagen minerals out of your joints and it will put it into where it needs to go, essentially. Because again, it's in a state of red alert. So the key to truly building back your collagen supplies is to bring minerals into the body. Then with a healthy endocrine system, a healthy lymphatic system that will help to flush out a lot of the debris, with that healthy endocrine system, with that healthy digestive system, with that healthy circulatory system, with that healthy urinary system, etc. All of these systems that are now starting to come online because they are getting essential minerals that they require, then collagen itself can start to be naturally rebuilt back into the joints. It's all starting together with mineralization. It can also help in that sense that as you start to remineralize, you get the body moving. You start going for walks. Just walking. Even if you just want to walk 20, 30 minutes per day, that makes a difference. That also helps to rebuild collagen as you start to remineralize yourself. But you can't escape remineralization. You have to get minerals in your body. Otherwise, your body is stripping out minerals in essential areas of the body to ensure that your body can still live. That's what it comes down to. Remineralize the body. It's extremely important. All right? We thank you for your question. Okay. Thank you. So there you have it with that. Let me just go down and make sure we don't have any other donation-based questions here. Okay, so we're getting some donation-based questions, but this one's from Ben Kramer. I'm not sure if Ben Kramer had a question here. I got a comment here. Let's see if we can pull it up. Okay, here we go. Ben says, Brad, when do you see the RV of currencies under the new financial systems? I've been asked this a lot, guys. And right now it's already trying to happen. It's taking place. Like, we're not waiting for it. It's already being done, right? It's already happening right now. But like I said, there's a lot of, there's kind of like a lot of shields in place trying to prevent these new currencies from coming together, okay? There's a tax on these currencies. Guys, cryptocurrency is basically part of that new financial system, okay? That's really what's going to be the forerunner of it. As I said, there are financial systems, but a lot of it is still being held at bay because you still have a lot of these greedy corporate people that are more about the fiat. And if they're not about fiat, then maybe they just want to get behind Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is struggling this year, right? They basically try to do a desperate push to Bitcoin to try and move it up a few $1,000s. And how long did that last? A couple of hours, and it comes crashing down again. Can't do it. As I said, Bitcoin is debilitated this year. Okay, Ethereum's doing a heck of a lot better, as it should be. Okay, but a lot of the new financial systems, guys, it's not about the idea of what they call a quantum financial system, because I don't honestly even know what that means. Right? So many people are talking about a quantum financial system. You tell me what the heck a quantum financial system is, because I don't even know what that is. The closest thing I could say is that you're looking at cryptocurrency, and you're looking at cryptocurrency on the rise. Okay, and there's going to be some new forms of currency to come. But like I said, gold and silver are going to be making their own comeback in particular ways. Gold primarily more. And that is going to become its own currency, right? It's already happening right now, guys. But you have these people with their shields trying to get in the way and trying to squeeze the passageway so that these new currency systems can't come together. It's a fight. It's a war. It's a battle between bankers. Right? And so a lot of that has to collapse first. It's really what it comes down to. And I would say if we're looking at to where The fiat system is shrinking down tremendously, and these new systems are coming up probably closer to the end of the decade. End of the decade to the start of 2030. Okay? I'd say maybe a rough age, 2027, 2033, around there. Okay? It just depends. Right now, again, we're not waiting. We basically have to take these hurdles out of the way. We have to take these shields out of the way. We have to widen the passageway so that these things can actually get the attention they need, because they're already out there right now. Your gold, your silver, your precious metals, your cryptocurrencies. Okay? And there's probably going to be more to come, yes. But again, I don't know what a quantum financial system is. Right? There's going to be prosperity programs. No, I'm not talking about Nicera Gacera. I'm talking about prosperity programs where there will be the elimination of financial debt, basically forgiveness when it comes to student loans, when it comes to other particular types of loans. That is looking to come as well too, and it's kind of squeezing out. But like I said, there's a wide berth because there's a lot of these greedy corporate people that still have a lot of authority that are trying to prevent that happens, because I know it's going to be a lot of money out of their pockets to do that, right? But either they do it or they're going to be having that money. It's going to be put towards it anyways. But it's a battle right now. 2027, 2033. That's the range that I can say, right? Because this has been happening for years. Is that we pretty much already have the new systems. We already have new cryptocurrency. We're already getting gold and silver on the plate to where it needs to be. But there's these shields. There's these squashers that are basically trying to prevent the flow from these things happening. And that's been happening for, I'd say, well, almost a decade right now. So it's been ready for a long time. But we have to get these people that are restricting it out of the way so that it has a natural flow to come out on a much more larger mainstream level. Okay, Ben, that's what I can say about that. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on. How are we on time here? We got about 20 minutes. Okay. Let me just go back up. I'm just trying to remember where I left off here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, guys, personal questions, you have to do donation-based, okay? I can't take personal questions if they're not donation-based, all right? Let's see. The Wizard of Oz pulling the levers is a weak old man. That is a perfect way to put it. Yes. You have a weak, frail old man, right? Debilitated. Just, it's almost like he's partly zombified, okay? Just completely and totally off his rocker. And now you see him. It's almost like looking at this old gremlin, right? And they're just like hissing at the camera and then they fly out the door. Okay, well, that's exactly it. You got it. So we're looking at the Wizard of Oz, man, the old grumpy and debilitated, wrinkly old man that just hisses at the camera, right? Has that kind of snake tongue, and then they just fly out the door. That's it. We're basically just chasing down a gremlin. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, this one here is from Rowena Demagan, 7697. Adronis, what will be the future of our country in the Philippines for the next 1 to 3 years? Well, our corrupt president can still continue his government this year or so. So, again, this is just, and I can elaborate on this for you with Adronis as well too. But I really don't look at things within the next couple of years because things are just changing so rapidly, right? We really kind of look within a 3 to 6 month berth, because if I say something that could be 2 years down the road, it's very unlikely it's going to happen, right? It's probably about 90% chance that it's going to change. Simply because everything is just shifting so profoundly. It's very, very difficult to try to, it's kind of like you're looking at a river, right? And you're trying to put a pin down in the middle of the river, and the pin is just going to wash away, right? You can't do it. It's a constant flowing river, and this river is now getting more intense. There's more water coming into the river, and it's getting more intense even just to stand in the river, let alone trying to put a pin down and try to say, okay, this is what could happen, right? And then you're putting it down the river, and now the river just washes it away. That's it. It's like trying to put a stake down, a small stake down into the river where the river is getting mightier and mightier. It's going to wash away. So that's how I would see is looking into the idea of these forecasts. Okay, so that's why we try to keep it within about a 3 to 6 month range. Okay, so having said that, I will bring Adronis in, and he can talk a little bit more about the Philippines. Okay, he said, "Well, our corrupt president can still continue his governments with this year or so." Okay, one moment. Kobe, thank you very much for your question. Now, here's something that we have to share, and it is regarding the Philippines, but it is regarding a very common situation with what many of you are going through your countries. That many of you have talked to us and said, Adronis, we have a corrupt president. Adronis, we have a corrupt prime minister. Adronis, we have a corrupt governor or a corrupt premier. We have some particular type of corrupt leader that is running our city or our state or province or our country. Are they going to be around for much longer? Firstly, you have to understand why they are there in the first place. Do you know why they're there in the first place? To get you mad. To get you to take action against them. To get you to stand up and saying enough is enough, and behold, here comes revolution. That's why they're there. They are actually basically forced to be there. Do you know how many of these leaders actually want to resign right now, but they can't? Because if they do, they basically have their lives threatened at the same time. There are quite a few leaders on your planet that do not want to do the political work anymore. And behind closed doors, they want a way out. But they can't. They are basically deadlocked into their position. They are being given scripts to follow. They are being given directives to therefore commit to. If they don't, they can risk losing their lives. They can risk losing their families' lives. They are basically threatened into coercion to being the type of leader that many of you are absolutely detesting. But again, we will say that there's quite a few of them that don't want to do this. It's almost like a proverbial gun is being held to their head and saying, you have to be like this. You have to enforce this. And then behind the scenes, they say, I don't want to do that. People are going to hate me. So that's the point. You decided to be part of this political game. You decided to run for this election. So therefore, many of the leaders that are in your country right now that are running things are not running things of their own volition. They're running off a script. Did all of you know that? Because that's what's happening. For many of them, they are not rubbing their hands together and saying, oh, good, I hope I can be more hated today. Oh, good, I hope I can bring about more of this greedy volatility and start passing more bills today. They are not like that. They're scared to death. Many of them. That includes your president of the Philippines. He's scared to death. Because he knows he's being put into a position where he's basically looking to be eaten alive. But again, he's filling out the script. He's filling out the outline of what needs to be pushed. Well, Adronis, why are they pushing this in the first place? To wake you all up. To wake you all up. That's the reason. To get you to say, enough is enough. How much more of this can you tolerate? Before you come together and you start working together. How much more? How much more do you want? Because that's what's going to continue to happen until you come together and say, no more. Until you actually have civil disobedience. Where you are not complying with what you know is unfair and unjust. But are you doing it? Not a lot of you. It all comes down to civil disobedience. That you're not going to follow the agendas. That you're not going to bark like a dog and being placed exactly where they want you to be. You're willing to break it down. And that is what 2026 is all about. The fire horse, breaking down the establishment. And if you are not following that, you're going to be at the mercy to their whims, to their scripts, to their policies, to their procedures, to all the rules and laws that they try to put together, trying to take everything relating to freedom away, but they won't really be able to do it. They'll talk about it. They'll threaten you about it. But the good news is that there are enough people that are able to make a difference. But there could be a heck of a lot more. But that's why they act this way. You think that the president or the prime minister or a governor or a premier or some particular type of leader is running the show pertaining to your city or state or province or country? No, they don't have that authority. This is being run by people behind the scenes. Those prime ministers, premiers, governors, presidents, etc. are showmen. They're actors. They follow a script. And they have to follow a script. If they don't, they can lose absolutely everything, including their lives. So they are being forced into this. It is like having a gun pointed to their head. This is what you're going to say. This is what you're going to do. You better play ball. Because if you don't, you won't be here. And the ones who you love won't be here. That's what's happening to them. Do you see now a little bit more of a bigger picture of what's being unfolded here? Thinking that we just have a greedy prime minister, we have a greedy president. It's true, they may have that greed, but they're not looking to take it to the amount of extremes that's been given to them. Yes, they may want a little bit of money. Yes, they may want a pay cut, as you would say. But they don't even want to take it to that extremes, but they're basically being forced into it. Play the role. And it's all meant to elevate yourself. You see, the true people behind the scenes know exactly what needs to be done. And this is the nature of the counter forces. The counter forces are enabling this to take place to get people riled up enough to where there is a breaking point and there is disobedience. And no one is going to do what their governments tell them to do anymore. That's where you're headed. That's where you're going. That's where you are. It's what it all comes down to, our friends. Not about, oh, the president is corrupt and this is corrupt. Yes. But again, they're doing it in this way because that's how they're meant to play ball. That's them being the actor. That's them being put into this position. That's them putting it through because they are being a proxy. Your own Donald Trump is still a proxy. Presidents themselves do not have their own weight of decisions to where they can 100% do what they want. It's never been done. Not even for Trump. Not even for anybody else. They all represent showmen, showwomen. They are actors. They are playing a part. Why do you think you had a particular form of business mogul who had his own television show to play the part of the president? He's perfect to do that. It's not to say that he doesn't have his own ambitions. He does. But in the majority sense, he has to follow to where he's being told. Every president has to do that. No exceptions, regardless of what you think. So that's what it comes down to. This is not about the idea of removing a president or a prime minister. You see, that will naturally happen by itself when the people start to awaken themselves further. Why do you think we call this the Great Awakening? Because that's what you're going through. And it doesn't just last a week or two. The Great Awakening lasts years, specifically through this decade. And well into the earlier times of the next decade. to wake yourselves up, to come together, to realize you don't need systems like this anymore. You can work together, and together you bring about change. And together you start working with new temporary leadership that is actually much more fair and just. Not the idea in that sense of leadership that is keeping you bound like animals. And enough of you start to move into disobedience, they have no choice but to put such leaders together because they can't control the people anymore. And this is already starting to happen. So this is not just about the Philippines. When it comes to your president, in that sense, how long is he going to last? Probably another year or so, approximately. Because again, he has an agenda to take care of. So again, this is why we say we will update you more as time progresses, because you've had an enormous shift today, where there is going to be much more deeper revealings. Give it time to let it show you the messages it needs to show you based upon events on your planet. All right? We thank you for your question. Guys, that is 100% the truth. Okay, that is 100% what is going on. Right? People keep asking, so why are these people constantly, why are these presidents and prime ministers and blah, 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 why are they constantly acting like this? Why are they doing this? Why is it chaos in my country in that sense? To wake you all up. Right? That's what it all comes down to. And not a lot of people can see that. So why would they want to wake us up? Because this is the counter forces running things, not the cabals. The counter forces basically have to deliver the hard medicine. The hard medicine is the feeling of tragedy, just the feeling as if you feel like your freedoms are being taken away. Your freedoms aren't actually going to be taken away, but they have to give that impression in order for you to actually get up off your butt and start saying, no, forget it. Civil disobedience. And that's really what they're looking for. And then as that happens, that takes down the entire construct of everything that represents the old world. This is exactly how I've seen it happen as well, too. Is it going to happen right away? No, because it's going to be a transitional state. 2026 is a very, very big haymaker relating to that. Okay, and then we go into the late 2020s, and then we start seeing major and total, not only demolishing of it, but actually rebuilding of the whole idea of the infrastructure. Okay, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is just the flow of what I'm getting with the big picture. I don't control the big picture. The big picture shows itself to me, and I do the best I can to present it to you. All right? Okay, how are we on time? We have 5 minutes here left. I'm just seeing if there's any other donation-based questions. Okay, this one here is from Chris, from a donation. Chris says, will religion be exposed as well this year? That depends. Depends on what you mean by exposed, because really the Vatican's been exposed quite a lot. In regards to takedowns of religion, not yet. Okay, now is religion basically meant to be taken down? The establishment of religion, yes, absolutely. But you're talking about a major conglomerate. You're talking about things that, one of the things that basically rule the world is religion. Okay, that is a very, very big animal. That's a big giant. Okay, it is going to get taken down. It is going to resolve itself to, making a lot more clarity of what actually is. But there needs to be a lot of betrayal. There needs to be a lot of mistrust. You can't just say, I oppose religion, when nobody really sees anything pertaining to why it should be taken down. Okay? And in order for religion to be taken down, they need to make a lot of mistakes. They need to make a lot of people angry. It's like the government. Okay? In order for that to change, you have to see the government making a lot of mistakes. You have to see the government fighting against the people. You got to see religion fighting against the people. And now people see it for what it really is, and the people now come in masses, and they demand that this whole thing get taken down. And that's how it works. Okay? That's the psychology, my friends. It's not just say, yeah, religion sucks, it's horrible, let's get it out of here. Okay, yeah, sure, let's go do it. Not going to happen. Okay? You have people that have absolute blind faith to those religious establishments. And the only way that there's going to be an opportunity for them to even have a different idea of actually agreeing with you to do that is that they have to be exposed for everything. Right? They need to be exposed, and through their nature of exposure, they're going to get angry, and through their anger, they're going to get enraged, and then it becomes this big, gigantic political scuffle, becomes this enormous fight, and people now start to see that, and they gather in the millions and the billions to take down the big giant. Because that's how it will work for politics. That is how it will work for government. That is how it will work for finances. That is how it will work for religion. Okay, all of those things are giants. And now again, I'm not talking about little, 12-foot giants. I'm talking about 500-foot tall giants. Okay, at least. And you got to get a big, gigantic army behind you to basically trip down that giant on their feet and tie them up and say, okay, we've taken down the giant. Okay, that requires a lot of people. And they're not going to do it until there is some very large, massive exposure that they cannot cover up, where people are looking at this and say, down with religion. We've had it. We're done with it. Just like we're done with the politicians right now. Just like we're done with the government. Just like we're done with how our money is being handled. Again, it's through the masses, my friends. The masses are what make the difference. And even if those masses are just 1/3 of it, then that really makes a good beginning. If we get it to 2/3, you're looking at big change very quickly. But as long as you're getting it down to about 1/3 the population that is basically looking to change everything, well, that's where we are right now. Watching everything tumble down. All right? Okay. Take no prisoners today, Master Brad. Yes, indeed. All right, everybody. We are out of time for today's episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, there's that big message with Adronis. Maybe I'll put that up as a standalone video because that is a very big announcement. So again, I'll be back next Wednesday for another episode of the Wisdom Nexus. So again, guys, thank you so much for checking out the webcast today, the special episode. So again, go to wisdomtransmissions.com, private sessions booking, 30, 45, and 60-minute sessions. This is good until March 31st. Okay, after that, the bookings are done. The private sessions as they exist will not be around anymore. So new services coming, new website coming here in April for wisdomtransmissions.com. Take care, guys. Blessings to you all. See you all next week. Bye for now.